Hi, this is Scott Sackett. I am recording a video on on removing blue lines from a comic drawing that you've scanned in. I have a comic page here, and I'm not going to ink this page. And if you look, here's the original page. If you look, you can see there's quite a bit of blue line. All my construction lines are blue. Now, some of my lines got really dark there, some of the blue lines. And again, I'm not inking this, but I drew it with the idea that I wouldn't be inking it. And so here's what I'm going to do to make it where I can use it. Now, I'm going to watercolor this when I'm done. So actually by hand, and so there may be a little bit of touch-up work when I'm done. And the lines, I don't know if you can see them. I'm recording this with my phone on the computer, which is not the best way to do it, but it's how I'm doing it. So be it. Okay, so I've scanned this in. I've scanned it actual size. I have a 11 by 17 scanner, 11 by 17 Brother scanner. So I've scanned it in. I've scanned it in RGB at 300 DPI. So this is a document that would be usable to make the comic from. 300 DPI at 11 by 17 is plenty high enough resolution. There's no need for me to do it any higher. And the only thing at this point that I need to do is get rid of that ghosting in the background and maybe strengthen up some of the lines a little bit. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and to make it a little bit darker, because my scanner tends to scan light, and I lightened it up a little bit so it would drop out some of the blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here, and in this layer I'm going to duplicate the layer. Let's see, so I'm going to duplicate the layer. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that layer a multiply layer. Okay, now what that did is that kind of darkened it up a little bit. Unfortunately, now you can see more of the trash, like in the bridge and stuff, some of the construction lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. Well, first I'm going to flatten the layers. So I'm going to flatten the image. Okay, and then I'm going to unlock that. Okay, then I'm going to come to the channels. And I've got if you select the blue channel, what the blue channel will do is that filters out all the blue. So you can see, here I'll switch it off and on so you can see. That's with all the channels selected. That's just with the blue selected. And like that's with the green selected. That's with the red selected. So you want the blue. And my next drawing, I may actually draw it in red pencil and see how that works. You can still see a little bit right through here. That's not too bad. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I am going to duplicate that channel. So now I have a channel labeled blue copy. Now what I'm going to do is select the other channels and I'm going to delete them. And it will ask to flatten them, and it flattens some of them, but I'm still good because I still got my blue copy. So I'm going to do the magenta channel and then do the yellow, or the yellow channel. So now what I have is I have this, and you can see there's a little bit there. You can see a little bit of the trash, but not a whole lot. But what it did is it made my overall drawing lighter. So I'm just real quick, I'm going to pull it up so you can see the whole page. I'm zoomed in quite a bit. Well, it says 50%, but I'm zoomed in, and there's a little bit of trash on there. This was drawn with a real open line. Like I said, I'm going to watercolor it. It's a story that takes place in the Oklahoma River, so I'm not too worried about some of this. I got a little bit of leeway. So now what I'm going to do is, now when you do that, it makes your image mode, let's see, it makes your image mode a multi-channel. So I'm going to make it back, I want to make it a grayscale. So now it's a grayscale image, which is fine, because that's what I want. So now what I'm going to do, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go to adjustments, and I'm going to adjust the levels. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lighten it up. Let me move this so I can see. The big trash area I'm looking for is right there. So I'm going to lighten this up a little bit, and there, that's gone. And then I'm going to go the other way and I'm going to darken it up just a little bit to darken up some of those lines. Maybe mess with this. And you just have to kind of play with it. It kind of depends on how you did it and everything. Okay, so I got that. Now what I'm going to do, so I'm going to go back And I'm going to duplicate this layer. Oops. I'm going to duplicate this layer and make the duplicate layer a multiply layer. This is a trick that I learned at the Comics Experience for scanning pencils in. And you can see how I made it pretty dark. And my ultimate goal is I'm not going to ink this. This is going to be as is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to print it out on my printer, and I'm going to watercolor on top of it and then scan the whole thing in again. So I got a little bit of freedom to play with it. Some of my lines are a little faint, they are a little dropped out, you can see right there, but like I said, I've got a little bit of room. I kind of planned it so I could do it this way. That's how I wanted to do it. And it's not bad. I mean, for not inking or anything, I'm pretty happy with it. Anyway, that's my method for dropping out blue line pencils. And I'm gonna have to go in and clean it up a little bit with the airbrush tool, no big deal. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy the video, I would encourage you to check out my website. It's scottsackett.org and see some more of my art, or check out my podcast. I do a podcast called Better Than Fiction, where me and a couple of my friends talk about pop culture. And I do another podcast called Classic Cinema Podcast, where me and a couple of my other friends review old movies, pre-1975 movies. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to comment, and if you have a better way to do it, please share a link below. Anyway, thanks a lot. Bye.